Hello and welcome to Finance Conversation. This is the 23rd episode of the Merging Life and Money Show, and I am super excited to be here with you. For those of you who do not know me, I am your host, Marie-Jo César. I help professional women acquire and apply the relevant financial skills and knowledge they need to take control of their money, manage their finances, and understand that they can live their best life with the money they have. Thank you for joining in today. If you are watching the replay, make sure to type #replay in the chat and leave me some comments and questions. Welcome, welcome, and welcome. I come to you live every Thursday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to share valuable information about how to achieve financial wellness and live your life with means and meaning. Today's show is the 9th episode of a new series titled The Scoop on Women and Money. And I will be talking about women and money conversations. So grab a pen and a notebook, as you might want to take some notes to discuss them further with family members, friends, colleagues, whomever you want to, because it is about sharing values that could benefit others. If you have any comments or questions, make sure to put them in the chat, and if you want to talk to me directly, I will share my contact information later in the show. As you know, the main objective of the Merging Life and Money Show and my strong why is to empower as many women as possible with what I know about money and finance. So today I will focus on the 3 whys, W-H-Y, of women and money conversations. And they are: why should women engage in money conversation? Why women dislike talking about money? Why women think that they are not qualified to talk about money. So to give today's show some context, let me say that money touches just about every single part of our lives, right? Because it is your relationship, your career, your health, and beyond. It influences your lifestyle, your decisions, and your emotion. And whether you realize it or not, it acts in the background of life, greatly affecting your emotional health and well-being, as it carries with it a societal taboo and awakens a gamut of emotion, including stress, greed, shame, eagerness, happiness, and even joy. So let us begin. So why should women engage in money conversation? Women should shift the paradigm and not only realize but believe that they are more equipped to talk about money than they think. Recent research conducted by New York Life Investment Management revealed that women control 51% of the personal wealth in the US. An estimated 22 trillion worth with a T. That number is expecting to jump by at least 30% to nearly 29 trillion over the next 40 years as intergenerational wealth is handed over, says New York Life. Okay? So 96% of women have a primary or shared responsibility with family financial decision and are still reluctant to talk openly about money. It is definitely time to stop keeping your thoughts and feelings about money to yourselves and start increasing your self-awareness around money and emotion. Yes, I know. Money is a very emotionally charged topic that will stir up unexpected thoughts and feelings, Therefore, it is important to work on your self-confidence and recognize the fact that you are more than able to have money conversations with others. So you are most likely making most of the financial decision in your household as we speak, right? So what is really holding you back? The answer is you. It is time that you come to terms with the fact that your thoughts are guided by the money beliefs that you were fed during your childhood and that your childhood has long expired. Okay? So additionally, times have changed and continue to change very rapidly. So must you. So gone the days when it was rude and impolite to talk about money, right? The money silence must be broken as it is negatively impacting your relationships, your children, and your family. It gets in the way of proactively planning for a secure financial future. It fuels conflict and misunderstanding. It keeps women unpaid and families from successfully passing on wealth. So money could be viewed as being complicated, but in essence, money is just a tool. It is a means of exchange for goods and services, which is also perceived by too many as a symbol of love, respect, self-worth, freedom, and even power. Okay? Money can also be used to control, to reward, to penalize, or even to entice, right? So for something that was designed simply to be used to trade, money means many things to too many people. And it is emotionally so convoluted. This tool that came about for commerce has become so much more. It is used as a measure of your self-worth and power, while at the same time hiding your fear and vulnerability. This is why understanding your own relationship with money is an important part of being able to break the money silence in your life, and without putting the pieces of your own money history together, you will not be able to explain your financial decisions and belief to someone else. Okay? So trust me, you are not alone in this. Okay, we are living in a culture of money silence, and until collectively we decide to shift the paradigm and break the taboo by speaking up against money silence and stop dodging these much needed financial conversation, we will continue to cultivate uncomfortable feelings such as anxiety, incompetence, stress, vulnerability, and fear, and continue to set ourselves up for failure to deal with important financial matters in the face of divorce, grief resulting from the loss of a loved one, or a family health crisis. So that's it for my first point. Let's look at the second point. Why women dislike talking about money. My take on it is that it is hard to learn about something when you are discouraged from talking about it. So many of us grew up learning that money was one of the few topics, just like politics, sex, and religion, which are talked about without boundaries now. Okay, money, we are told to avoid talking about it because it was rude and impolite to do so. Okay, so we were told that you do not brag about your net worth. Okay, you do not share your salary information with colleagues. And some companies even fire people for doing that. And you do not ask your friend even about their rent. Even it helps put your budget in perspective. So we are discouraged from talking about money at every turn, but if we want to fix our financial situation, talking about it is necessary. So even by setting aside the social taboos of discussing money, there are practical hurdles in your way to getting better at money. Learning about money is intimidating, okay? And there is no structural system in place to teach you how to go about it. Furthermore, you look at poor money skills as something to be ashamed and embarrassed of, which can keep you from being honest about money and seeking out the right kind of help. It is difficult for people to discuss money because there is no real agreed upon standard of measurement or financial metrics. So as a result, you feel fear and shame around what your finance look like, right? So the social taboo, the intimidation factor, and the embarrassment conspire to keep you from talking about money and improving your circumstances. For example, according to some data from Fidelity Investment, 43% of Americans do not know how much money their spouse make. Okay? Yet, fighting about money is a major cause for divorce. Okay? That's a well-known factor. When you don't even know your household income, it is almost guaranteed that a financial fight will eventually break out. Also, there are few things that can bring about joy, shame, contentment, anxiety, and stress the way that money does. So if your finances cause you stress and anxiety, it is natural to want to keep this to yourself because you might feel embarrassed and ashamed about the decision you made. Right? That's the case for a lot of people. So when you ignore your financial situation, minor problems happening on a regular basis build up to very substantial challenges, and this is clearly a sign that it is time to change the story and open up about money. To tell the truth, it is hard to learn about something when you're discouraged from talking about it in that way. Okay? So silence then become a tool for oppression. Also, if you don't pay attention to your finances, there is always someone waiting to take advantage of that fact. Okay, as a matter of fact, not talking about money can also have sweeping social effects, like stopping women from getting equal pay for equal work in the workplace. Take the Google example, I believe some 3 years ago, when the Department of Labor lawsuit and investigation against a company claimed that discrimination against women in Google was quite extreme. Google refused to disclose the data about employees' salary history according to the suit, right? This shows that talking about money is important. So how do you begin? So start small, okay? If you are intimidated by personal finance and unsure of where to start, remember that you don't have to learn everything about money at once, right? Start with one financial lesson at a time. If you have a hard time saving, focus your learning on emergency funds, for example. If you want to get out of debt, research, different debt payoff methods. Read money blogs, lots of them on the internet, or listen to money podcasts during your work commute. And if you're to dedicate just half an hour to financial education per day, you'll be surprised at how much you learn over time. All right. So also schedule money meetings. It is important to make sure you and your partner or spouse are on the same financial page. Okay. Set aside time to talk about finances. Okay. While it may be convenient to discuss finance, whether you are spending too much on travel while you're in the car or whatever on a road trip, it can lead to a much healthier conversation if you sit down with a list of topics to discuss. Okay, so pick a regular time to hold money meetings and talk about any financial goals, setback, and habits that you may need to discuss. This will help you avoid fighting about those topics in the future. So here are a few ideas for you about how to broach the subject. So talk to your friends, okay? Speaking with friends about your financial situation is critical for breaking the taboo around money, okay? The more comfortable you are talking about topics like retirement plans, student loan, and budgeting openly amongst your peer, the more opportunity you have to learn from each other. All right? And the more you talk about your situation and either accept them or work on improving them, the healthier your relationship with money will get. So be more honest about your money as well. Let's say, for example, that you want to throw a little extra at your student loan this month, which might mean cutting back on restaurant, for example. Do just that, right? And don't really don't just do what you have to do and be candid with your friend, and tell them that, hey, you're on a budget and you're sticking to it. You're not going to be able to join them at the restaurant this week. It is a fact that being honest with your finance and breaking the money taboo call for better financial habits and solutions. So another example is set a goal, right? And having a plan for your money is the best way to get comfortable with it. Find like-minded people, okay? When you are trying to get more comfortable with money, it helps to surround yourself with people who are on the same page as you, who have similar goals and are open to talking about those goals. Let me say that there are very few financial problems that improve by ignoring or neglecting them. Okay? So when you begin to understand the value of being open and transparent about money, talking about it becomes second nature. Point number 3, last but not least, why women think that they are not qualified to talk about money. While we are still for the most part stuck on the antiquated ideas about gender roles, it is often assumed that in heterosexual relationships, men will make more money and be in charge of the finances, while women will rule the domestic domain, even when they also have a job outside the home. So it is hard to comprehend that given the number of women who are head of household in America, so circa 50%, I would say, women still feel inadequate to talk about money and finance while making most, or if not all, the financial decision for their families. As women, we must rid ourselves of the stories that we were fed regarding money and its application, and realize that life gives us what we expect. It appears that the number one concern, I should say, for women is like, are we checking all the right boxes, or are we missing opportunities to be smarter with our money, whether individually or as a couple? And it turns out that women making it turns out that women making more money and being in charge of the finances is not just great for women, it just makes sense because studies show that women acting as chief financial officer of their household are better at handling money than men, which is crazy considering that the generally accepted narrative is that women are bad at money. The truth is, women have better credit scores and they have higher saving rates than men. It's just that they get paid less than men, so they are not able to save as much as men, right? So statistics also show that many people still think that children do better if their mothers do not work, considering that so many women have to work to keep their families going and manage to have happy, healthy children. It is disappointing to see that such a large number of people still have such dated views. Women must start praising themselves, right? And stop thinking that they are not worthy of making appropriate financial decisions for themselves and their family. As you know, they would rather talk about their health than talk about their wealth, right? And a great number of them still think that financial conversations are too personal or too uncomfortable, okay? So, enough said about this for today, and I'm going to wind down and sum it up. Today I talked about why should women engage in money conversation, why women dislike talking about money, why women think that they are not qualified to talk about money, right? So before I forget, let me share my contact information. You could reach me by sending me an email at mj@mariejocaesar.com or by sending me a direct message via Messenger. And I'm going to leave you with those last thoughts. A recent study conducted by Fidelity's Women Fit Woman shows that 47% of women want to learn more about financial planning and get more involved in their finances. They do admit that they just don't know how to get started and who to get started with. So the research also shows that baby boomer women are more likely to talk about their investment with their spouses than Gen X or millennial women. And the statistics are 73% for the boomers, 62% for the Gen X, and 59% for the Gen Y. And they also feel more confident and less nervous than the younger generations when it comes to investing, long-term saving, and retirement. So some 63% said that they know where to invest, compared to 48% for the Gen X and 60% for the millennial. And 70% are confident about long-term saving and retirement, and whilst only 54% of Gen X and 62% of millennial women are. All right, that's it for numbers. So as you know, I like to end the show with a quote. And today I selected one from Olivia Mellon, and it reads, "Many are aware of the emotional load associated with money. Everybody has money secrets because people believe it is taboo to talk about money." So Olivia is actually an American therapist and consultant, and above all, a groundbreaker in the field of money psychology. So for more information about how to achieve financial wellness and live a purposeful life with the money you have, join me next week Thursday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time for my Bermuda peeps. And for my Australian friend, it's Friday, 10 a.m. Thank you for being here today on the Merging Life and Money Show. I am your host, Marie-Jo César. I will be back again next week. Until then, continue merging life and money. Bye for now.